Every 5 minutes, a survivor in the Wasteland dies. Famine, raiders, mutants, and radiation are some of the most common forces that can cause a survivor in the Wasteland to die. However, the most common is disease due to improper medical training, services, and supplies. Relying solely on 200-year-old medicine, the Wasteland is one bad flu away from a post-apocalyptic Black Plague. And I'm going to prove it to you. In the year 2052, the Chinese threat became all too real for the citizens in Denver, Colorado, when 2 Chinese high-G agents were on a mission to sabotage the secret testing areas of the Hoover Dam. During their mission, they had managed to get a hold of an experimental vial of limit 115. Its initial purpose was to cause sterility in those infected. This was not always the case, however. The majority of those infected did die, and those that didn't did find themselves to be sterile after weeks of agonizing pain. The US planned to unleash this deadly weapon onto Chinese combatants to cull the herd, so to speak. During their escape, the high-G agents became trapped in Denver, and while on the run, they resorted to breaking the vials in crowded areas. A last-ditch kamikaze attack, knowing they were not going to make it home alive. Once broken, the vials spread and infected everyone in the near vicinity, killing 200,000 people and continuing to spread into the early 2060s. Due to the rapid spread of the outbreak, the US was forced to close its borders for the first time in history, declaring a national quarantine and state of emergency. 115 was later renamed to the New Plague, or the Blue Flu, and its symptoms were as follows. Flu-like, profuse sweating, unexplained contusions and swelling, massive hemorrhaging, and finally, 115 results in the clogging of respiration, ultimately leading to death. You may be thinking to yourself, well, what on earth does a pre-war disease have to do with the Brotherhood of Steel? They're the good guys, right? They wouldn't weaponize a pre-war plague. I just need you to stick with me a little bit longer. The US was in a bad state after the Blue Flu ravaged its citizens for years. But out of the darkness arose a company that is still known today throughout the Wasteland. This company would come to be the single largest private contractor for the US government. Westech, a biomedical and advanced weapons research company founded in California in 2002. In the year 2055, Westech was tasked to find a cure for the Blue Flu. Yet this sickness went on for years despite Westech's best efforts. Due to the increasingly aggressive acts from China, the US government funded Westech's Pan-Immunity Virion project, and Westech started work immediately on September 15, 2073. After several failed experiments, the Pan-Immunity Virion project was renamed near the beginning of 2075, although the project never truly ended. Westech renamed the project the Forced Evolutionary Virus, otherwise known as the FEV. This was done due to the increased size, muscle density, and intelligence in the test animals. Several breakthroughs with the FEV in 2076 led the project to be moved north to the Mariposa military base for further research. That said, I believe it is safe to say that the research facility in California still housed Limit 115 and possibly new strains and experimental vaccines. The research facility in California was Westech's largest in the country and housed biochemicals and advanced weapons and power armor, making it an extremely large target for China. And on that fateful day in October of 2077, the facility took a direct hit to the surface building, creating what is now known as the glow to the NCR citizens living in New California, leaving nothing more than a large glowing crater leading to the lower levels that were once hidden. The newly opened Westech facility has led to 115 being airborne, free to mutate and evolve in its new environment. And for those that do become infected, it won't be spreading as drastically as before, leaving Limit 115 no new hosts to infect, giving the remaining humans a fighting chance against the Blue Flu. Year after year, the radiation levels begin to subside, and human beings begin to populate the surface once again. And with every new generation born, the Blue Flu becomes less of a plague and more of a cold. The NCR and the Western Brotherhood are allowed to grow and mutate around this virus, allowing them to build an immunity to it, causing each new generation to become less likely to die from it. This does not mean they still don't carry the disease with them, but this does mean that the East Coast has gone almost 200 plus years without so much as a hint of the blue flu. Until now. The sole survivor has met a disgruntled mercenary named Robert J. McCready, and his son has fallen ill with a strange sickness, and McCready has yet to find a cure. McCready explains to the sole survivor that one day his kid was fine, and the next, he took a fever and blue boils popped up all over his body. McCready explains that he isn't sure what the disease is, but what he can say is that it's eating his son from the inside. McCready explains that a few months before he met the sole survivor, he also met a man named Sinclair, who claimed his buddy caught some kind of disease. McCready didn't know what to make of it first until Sinclair said his partner broke out in blue boils. Sinclair then claimed to have found information about a possible cure being located somewhere in the Commonwealth. That location was MedTech Research, and it's been sealed away in the upper floors for the past 200 years. It isn't impossible that another similar, smaller private company, in this instance MedTech, took the chance to create a cure for the blue flu as it ravaged through pre-war America, while WestTech did the same. New California houses 700,000 citizens and growing. This leaves the East Coast at a large disadvantage due to population, and although the Brotherhood are a small faction from the NCR, they have been in New California since before the bombs. If any one single faction has the possibility of being a carrier of the blue flu, it is more than likely going to be them. And out of every other faction that sprang up from the ashes of the old world, they would be the most likely to travel eastward. And that's exactly what happened. They managed to not only reach the capital Wasteland, but then the Commonwealth, as well as the Pit. They didn't just bring technological superiority with them, they also brought the blue flu, the new plague. Yes, the group that is so hell-bent on stopping abominations from destroying the world are themselves going to kill any chance the people of the East Coast ever had. And it all starts with McCready's child. But how do they cure a 200-year-old disease? Well, there are two possible answers. One is the MedTech prototype that the sole survivor sends to McCready's child, although there is only one usable syringe, unless the facility also houses the instructions to create more, which is entirely possible due to it being sealed away for the past 200 years. The second is a nanobot named Curie, who resides in Vault 81, reprogrammed to create a cure-all, an antivirus so broad that it could stop the sickness no matter what. Curie only has one syringe though, and the sole survivor uses it to save another young boy's life. Though, Curie still has the knowledge to recreate the cure. She may just need the right materials. This could very well be the end of the East Coast wasteland for the foreseeable future. With no cure in sight, their days are certainly numbered, and their chances are growing slimmer. Diamond City, Megaton, The Pit, Ronto, Nuke World, all of these community and social hubs are living on borrowed time. And it's all thanks to the Brotherhood of Steel. Ad Victoriam. Hey, if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. If you like the video, like it. And if you want to get notified when I upload next or go live or whatever, because I do that, hit that ring-a-ding-ding-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding-ding, that notification bell, and check it out in the future. I'll see you guys around. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Next one's coming soon. I promise. There might be a hint in this outro card somewhere as to what it is. What the next lore video is anyway. But that's not necessarily what the next video that's gonna come out is. Just saying, it might be something different. I mean, come on. Can't do the same thing. You gotta branch out. Gonna start a new show. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. Alright, I've been talking for 2 minutes. Bye.